Hi everybody, thanks for joining me again. My name is Makela Elvey and I'm a program manager here at the Princeton-Blairstown Center. And right now I'm on the Blue Trail, hiking around our big beautiful lake, Bass Lake. And today I want to talk to you all about birds. And right now it is nearing mid to the end of April, and so spring migration, or when the birds that flew south for the winter return to this part of the world. We're right now at Princeton-Blairstown Center. We're in northwest New Jersey. They usually come back around March and early April. So now that we're getting to mid, it is very easy to spot birds. So there's Bass Lake, and one of the reasons coming to a body of water is a really good place to spot birds is because so many different birds rely on the water, or insects that live by the water, for food, for water. Some animals that I see often in Bass Lake are geese, different types of ducks come by. But you could even see sometimes swallows dancing over the water, trying to get some insects when it's warmer out. You could also, if you look up, it's very clear sky over the lake, so you can usually see vultures passing by, crows, and really cool predatory birds like hawks. So in your neighborhood, what's the first way that you can tell a bird is nearby? So sometimes I can tell a bird is nearby if I see a quick glimpse of color, which is really nice because a lot of the birds that migrate are also a lot of the birds that are very full of color and vibrant. Tanagers, warblers usually return. Finches also return for spring migration to this part of the world. But when it's not seeing the bird and the beautiful colored feathers, I can usually tell by hearing the bird. So let's listen for a little while to all the different bird calls. Each bird has its own individual call. Some of them have more than one call, and that's usually the way that they communicate with one another, when they warn their friends that there's a predator nearby. And when you have a lot of birds in one area and they're all calling at the same time, it makes a beautiful song. One great way to find out what birds are in your neighborhood and what birds you might be hearing is that if you see a bird, look up the way that it calls. There might be a couple of calls. Another way is to just listen and see if you can find that sound or remember that sound in case you hear it again once you learn it. Another way you can tell that birds are present, even if you can't see them, aside from their song, is evidence. So here is a tree that I know has been probably pecked at because it had a lot of yummy insects inside, and the bird was probably trying to get some sap as well, because woodpeckers drill these holes into trees. And that's one evidence that we have woodpeckers here, even though I haven't seen any today. Woodpeckers are super cool birds because they can tap into a tree 20 times per second. Do you know how fast 20 times per second is? I can only probably do one thing per second. So that's really super cool. And they almost sound like a drill. Like you can hear them from really, really far away, just going right into a tree, hoping to get some of that sap and some of those insects and really get inside the bark to eat. super cool. Another cool thing about woodpeckers is that even though they're beating that fast into the tree, they're pecking that fast, they don't get any damage. If I shook my head really, really fast, I'd probably be dizzy, but not woodpeckers. They have this really cool adaptation where their skull helps their body absorb the shock. Here are a few really well-known birds. Just got back over to this side of camp and saw we have some Canada goose friends. They're not happy I'm walking near them, so I'm gonna go this way. I'm back at the center, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for hiking with me and talking about birds. I hope that you really enjoyed learning and listening to the birds that are here and visiting the center at this time of the year. I encourage you to look up and find a little bit more about birds. What birds pass through your area? Can you hear them? And maybe notice what times of the day birds are loudest, when you can hear the most of them, and all of those things. So again, thank you for tuning in and spending this time with me. Bye.